After millions of years hidden deep in a cave, this mysterious creature was discovered, shocking the archaeological world. Hello everyone from the mysterious pillar of the nation. Dear friend, this world never ceases to change. Alongside new inventions, the discovery of ancient fossils and past events is equally fascinating. This could be the fossil of giant creatures, mysterious animals that existed millions of years ago. The mysterious statues that have existed for thousands of years, or an entire lost civilization has just been discovered. Every discovery in this video hides incredibly fascinating secrets, and right now, we're going to reveal them all to you. Let's explore the new day with the mysterious universe. The 750-year-old sculpted statues. In 2018, archaeologists discovered a secret road in Peru. The distinctive feature is that it is adorned with bizarre and eerie statues. According to Peru's Ministry of Culture, these statues date back 755 years. They belong to the pre-Columbian civilization and are regarded as sacred divine statues by the inhabitants of the Chinchón region. The largest adobe city in the Americas, it was once the center of Chimu culture. This civilization emerged and flourished along the central and northern coastal regions of Peru from the 12th to the 15th century. Here was once one of the wealthiest and most powerful centers in the region. It is a complex of 9 citadels, surrounded by towering statues standing tall. However, this civilization declined after being conquered by the Incas around 1470. Currently, archaeologists are still diligently working to decipher the true meaning behind these 19 mysterious wooden statues. Archaeologists have discovered an ancient knife in Morocco, crafted from animal bone and dating back up to 90,000 years. Particularly, the structure of this knife astonished researchers as it showcases the exquisite craftsmanship that reached the pinnacle of ancient techniques. Moroccan archaeologists have discovered a knife in a cave located in the northern coastal region, near the Atlantic Ocean. This artifact is 13 centimeters long and has been identified as being made from the rib bone of a large mammal that lived during that period. Professor Berjugger, an archaeologist and member of Morocco's National Institute of Archaeology who also leads the research team, stated, "New findings reveal that cave dwellers in North Africa were crafting sophisticated tools much earlier in the Paleolithic era. Compared to previous predictions, even the Neanderthal human species went extinct up to 40,000 years earlier." This frost knife is regarded as the most ancient tool of the Eucorian culture. The flourishing period of stone tool crafting techniques among North African communities during the Stone Age. However, with its intricate craftsmanship, this piece stands out distinctly from the tools produced in the sub-Saharan region during the same period. This proves that the ancient inhabitants of North Africa had more advanced material processing techniques than those in the south. According to Dr. Sylvia Barrow from the Natural History Museum in London, the discovery of this knife proves that humans had sophisticated stone tool making techniques over 100,000 years ago. Based on the shape and grinding angle of this knife, Dr. Sylvia concluded that it was a tool used for cutting soft and highly elastic materials. According to scientists, crafting complex tools from animal horns is entirely feasible. This material requires a significantly higher level of processing than the previously mentioned one. Around 100,000 years ago, Homo sapiens began developing cognitive abilities, as well as the ability to control both hands with remarkable precision and dexterity. Archaeologists have recently discovered a strange structure in eastern Kazakhstan and described it as a pyramid, although its architecture is entirely different from the familiar Egyptian pyramids. However, this place also serves as a tomb for the nobility, much like how the ancient Egyptians used pyramids. Unlike the pyramids of North Africa or the Mayan pyramids in the Americas, this pyramid is located in Central Asia but features a regular hexagonal base, unlike the typical square design. According to Dr. Ulan Umid Karyad, head of the Department of Archaeology and Ethnology at the Eurasian National University, this pyramid was built with stone, featuring massive blocks weighing up to 1 ton placed at sharp angles. The remaining structure consists of 3-meter-high stone walls, forming a small labyrinth with an ancient tomb at its center. Although the discovered structure lacks a roof and it's impossible to determine whether it ever had a stone roof, archaeologists still believe this is a form of pyramid because atop the stone structure lies a large artificial mound. The hexagonal walls surrounding the outer part of the pyramid were also intricately inlaid with stone carvings. The other artworks primarily depict images of animals, such as camels and horses. Some burial jewelry and pottery were found, but the research team has not yet confirmed whether the two sets of discovered remains are human or not. Because at the time the pyramid was built around 3,800 years ago, the inhabitants of this area had also erected many stone tombs and monumental structures. At the same time, this place is also renowned for its goldsmithing craft, while the raising of large livestock herds may be the spearhead of the economy. Remains of a 13-ton ancient supermonster. Israeli archaeologists recently uncovered a massive 2.5-meter-long elephant tusk, a remnant of the ancient straight-tusked elephant. This species went extinct 400,000 years ago but is considered the closest ancestor of modern elephants today. However, standing next to an elephant, even the largest African elephants, this ancient creature still looks like a supermonster with a towering height of 4 meters, weighing 13 tons, and sporting tusks up to 2.5 meters long. According to studies, modern elephants today primarily consist of two species, the African elephant and the Asian elephant. African elephants can weigh over 6 tons, while Asian elephants typically weigh around 3 to 4 tons. Despite its massive size, this giant tusk is now being cherished by paleontologists as a precious treasure, for it could vanish like a wisp of smoke ascending to the sky in a fairy tale at any moment. Despite remaining intact for hundreds of years, just one more exposure to light and air will cause them to instantly decompose. According to the research team led by the Iranian Antiquities Organization and Avi University, these giant creatures lived in the area around 800,000 years ago before suddenly going extinct 400,000 years ago. The discovered specimen, dating back 500,000 years, is the largest intact fossilized tusk ever excavated in Iran as well as the entire Near East region. According to Dr. Iranya Maretsky from the Iranian Antiquities Organization, during the archaeological excavation conducted here a few years ago, they discovered several bone fragments, including part of a skull, ribs, and pelvis, along with man-made artifacts such as axes and chopping tools. The discovery of the tusk completely detached from the skull led researchers to suspect that this was undoubtedly a distinct ancient human species. At that time, our species Homo sapiens had not yet appeared, so they could not hunt or slaughter this super monster or other similar creatures. Under such conditions, this place could be an archaeological treasure trove filled with intriguing mysteries, waiting to be uncovered by scientists and archaeologists. 3,300-year-old timeless treasure. Time capsule. The time capsule. Within it, a part of the ancient world remains perfectly preserved and orderly, exactly as it once existed. And the archaeological treasure at Fond Merchant Beach National Park is a prime example. This ancient tomb, standing the test of time, holds many unique artifacts buried in a 3,300-year-old funeral ritual. That is a meticulously crafted structure formed by carving into the mountain rock to create a cave. The place where the ancients placed precious ceramic and bronze objects to serve the afterlife of the deceased. This cave, though once looted and numbered, still has its artifacts arranged quite neatly inside. Just like the old days when ancient burial rites were performed. It is known that ancient pottery is one of the artifacts highly valued by researchers, because it often provides many details about the craftsmanship techniques of the local people during that period. The distinctive cultural features, even the unique rituals and customs, are preserved through carvings and ancient scripts. The pottery in this tomb includes various types such as traditional double-handled jars, deep bowls, shallow bowls, and stemmed cups. Some were imported from the coastal waters of Lebanon, while others were sourced from the regions of Tyre, Sidon, and other ancient rocks along the coasts of Lebanon and Iran. Thus, they also represent a phase in ancient commerce. Tien, the Knight Elazone from EAA, stated that the items in this shipment date back to the 13th century AD. At the end of the EEB Bronze Age, during this period under the 19th Akkad dynasty, Pharaoh Remershitai, the ruler of the Akkad Empire, took control of the Canaan to ensure safe conditions for international trade. Additionally, the tomb houses many other valuable artifacts, such as lamps, bronze arrowheads, and human remains placed in 2 rectangular niches at the end of the row. The number of burial artifacts in the tomb might even be greater than before it was ransacked by grave robbers. However, the construction of the tomb may have occurred centuries earlier, after which the cave was sealed, leaving no traces of activity in more recent periods. This is a great opportunity for scientists to apply modern methods to extract information from artifacts as well as from remaining organic materials. Nevertheless, scientists still believe that the catacombs could provide a comprehensive, time-transcending picture of Bronze Age customs and rituals. The 1,400-year-old tomb of a queen, preserving treasures that have withstood the test of time. An ivory treasure, astonishing in many aspects, once a symbol of supreme noble status, has been unearthed from the 1,400-year-old tomb of a mysterious medieval woman. To us today, it may seem like just an ordinary object, but in 600 BC, when the use of iron tools was still extremely rare and novel, it held a special significance. That is a one-of-a-kind treasure, timeless, especially in its design lines that perfectly mirror the modern era. The chair measures 70 by 45 centimeters, similar to the common folding chairs often used for outdoor seating or brought along on picnics. The male individual was buried alongside a woman aged approximately 40 to 50. Although her identity has not been revealed, the arrangement of the tomb suggests she must have been a figure of extremely high status in the society of that time. The favored one is someone who is gifted a rare, personalized, or imported personal item. Within the layers of rust on the chair, archaeologists also found remnants of wood and leather. It appears the woman had been seated on this special throne before being buried in the tomb. In reality, iron folding chairs have been found in some ancient tombs, but they are extremely rare and often accompanied by other lavish burial items, so this conclusion can reasonably be drawn. It is a symbolic object reserved solely for the burial of nobles, lords, or ladies, or individuals with other social statuses such as priests or high-ranking officers. The tomb of this woman also holds many other precious artifacts, such as an ancient pearl necklace. The intricate belt made of multicolored glass, adorned with various decorative items and a sweeping tool, helped scientists determine the tomb's age. Not far from there, archaeologists also discovered the tomb of another mysterious man, equally extravagant and filled with numerous weapons such as spears and halberds. Shield, the buoyancy of wool, a belt, and an expensive leather pouch. According to the plan, the researchers will take additional portrait photos to search for clues, hoping to identify the owner of this portrait. At the same time, she also uncovered the identity of the mysterious man beside her, who had just been discovered. Europe's oldest observatory, dating back 7,500 years. Archaeologists have discovered and excavated a megalithic complex dating back to the Neolithic period in Spain. This structure is similar to the famous Stonehenge Observatory, but on a larger scale and far more ancient in origin. This complex consists of thousands of individual stones, mostly standing upright, spread across a vast area of up to 1,500 acres. Meaning 600 hectares, spread across a hilly area, with the largest rocks scattered individually. The rocks are arranged into various structures such as tombs, mounds, stone circles, enclosing walls, and straight rows, forming an incredibly complex architectural complex. This is one of the largest Neolithic monument complexes ever discovered in Europe, and may even be the largest site of its kind. Giant stone circles resembling Stonehenge, the famous 4,500-year-old ring of standing stones in England, but on a much smaller scale. Stonehenge also bears diverse traces of being a gathering site for ceremonial rituals. Here, human remains were discovered along with traces indicating that the stone blocks were arranged in alignment with certain astronomical patterns. As a result, this site is suspected to be one of humanity's oldest ancient astronomical observatories. In Spain, a new organization was first discovered in 2018 when land was dug up to prepare for avocado planting. Archaeologists spent years excavating a massive complex beyond imagination while conducting preliminary research on it. The examination results reveal that the oldest stones of Stonehenge were actually erected 7,500 years ago, serving multiple complex functions. Some of the standing stones erected later date back approximately 3,000 to 4,000 years. Among thousands of stones, 520 are standing megaliths, most of which belong to the oldest group of ancient rocks. Some other stone blocks form tombs with particularly impressive covered roofs. Some stones are arranged to form the tomb's body, where scientists hope to uncover remains during excavation. Some other rocks align with special astronomical events. According to archaeologists, the construction of such stone gate complexes may have been widespread across Europe during the Neolithic period, linked to successive waves of migration. Perhaps they were a group originating from the Near East, but later assimilated with the indigenous hunter-gatherer tribes, eventually forming the modern Europeans of today. Ancient royal tomb dating back 1,800 years. A ceramic item, shaped like a basin, helped Chinese scientists determine that the strange area with 100 ancient tombs they excavated was actually an archaeological site far beyond imagination. The basin, approximately 60 centimeters in diameter and 25 centimeters tall, is carved with unique patterns and helped identify the owner of the mysterious ancient tomb in Henan Province, China. That was Emperor Liu Ji of the Han Dynasty, also known as Han Huangdi, because he reigned in the 2nd century AD. Archaeologist Wang Shagyul from the Luoyang City Cultural Relics and Archaeology Research Institute, the excavation team leader, said, "This discovery enables them to connect numerous ancient documents with excavated evidence from the tomb site, thereby confirming the noble identity of the mausoleum's owner and gaining deeper insight that what they found was an archaeological discovery beyond imagination, a magnificent palace reserved solely for the dead." The ancient tomb complex was discovered in 2017, and since then, archaeologists have excavated over 100 graves. The remarkable thing is that this ancient tomb is part of a vast architectural complex, including numerous houses, pathways, a lake, a drainage system, and countless luxurious burial items. Even scientists couldn't help but be surprised when the discovery of a pot of soil during an excavation could completely alter the course of the research. The fact that the tomb's owner was an emperor proves that the complex was essentially a palace reserved solely for the deceased. In this area, there are houses for the concubines, guards, and tomb caretakers. After their deaths, they will be buried here to continue serving the departed king. Emperor Liu Ji of the Han Dynasty passed away at the young age of 35. The ancient tomb within the palace is believed to have been built by his successor in his memory. 150 unusual artifacts belonging to an ancient human species dating back 1.4 million years. While excavating the site of an ancient hominid species in the Middle East, scientists unexpectedly discovered strange spherical limestone objects, leaving them utterly perplexed. Upright man, but still retains many features very similar to the ancestral ape species. They had ape-like faces but walked and stood like humans, and were likely the first species in human history to craft labor tools. However, 150 strange objects found in a mine called Uber Disa in northern Iran were truly shocking because they were deliberately shaped into perfect spheres. That is almost absurd, at the end of the period 1.4 million years ago. That is the period which humanity has long believed tools were still extremely rudimentary, far before humans developed brains advanced enough to create things like works of art or aesthetic objects with their own purpose. However, according to Dr. Anthony Moorer from Kypriul Yerushalayim University, the research team believes this may not necessarily be an artistic creation. They suspect that crafting these rounded stones could serve a more practical purpose compared to the naturally occurring, slightly rounded stones. Perhaps they were a type of hammer used to break apart large rocks, but it's all still just speculation. However, ancient examples of crafting symmetrical objects demonstrate that hominins, or creatures considered early ancestors of humans, had developed advanced skills much earlier than previously believed by the scientific community. Archaeologists also cautiously conclude that this is not yet evidence that primitive hominids in this area intentionally created them for a clear purpose. Perhaps they attempted to do it, but without fully understanding the purpose. This remains a mystery waiting to be unraveled by humanity. A mysterious creature with a piercing cold gaze lies motionless in the ancient cave. Recently, a cave beneath the Ifrit River was sealed off after the discovery of a strange creature, unlike any known species of fish or reptile. Perhaps both, or maybe neither of these species, with its enormous mouth and those long, thick, and powerful tentacles. It makes many people inevitably think of the legendary giant monster, the Kraken. However, this is likely just a miniature version of Kraken, as in the legends. Kraken is described as a colossal monster. Many terrifying tentacles like a monster, capable of destroying an entire city in the blink of an eye. It was like a nuclear weapon that the hidden deity wanted to use to teach those arrogant humans a lesson they would never forget.